All right, sorry, I know it's a little bit noisy with the printer going on, but this is a project I'm gonna try and see if I can make this work. So these are two old IKEA lamps that have really served their purpose and pretty much done. You can see here it's got like the paper shade, but we're getting this happening. It's dried out and it's basically falling apart. This one's not as bad, but it is starting to rip on the other side. So I thought, let's see if we can do something creative with these things. And I was gonna print up some new lampshades for them. And I sort of went online to see if I could 3D print some lampshades because I see that happening a lot. And I came across one that I wanted to try, and I'm gonna try to modify. So this is the lamp that I'm talking about. This was posted up on Thingiverse. Now there's a few versions of this out there, so it's certainly not the only one, but this was posted by RC Wadsworth 21, and you can check it out yourself. I'll put the link down below in the description. But if you take a look, this is the kind of look I was looking for, right? But I need to make some modifications to this because I want this to be the new lampshade. Now this, the one that was posted, is really a standalone lamp. So I need to do some work here. And the size of it is close. It's not quite the same size as the lampshade. And I need to make some adjustments to make this fit. But this is what I'm aiming for. So basically what I wanted to do is take this rectangular shaped shade and basically replace it with that empire type of style shade there that I'm gonna have to modify, because that one I was looking at was pretty much just a straight up rectangular box that a light fixture would fit inside of it. But this is going to sit on, because you can see here it's got like the frame there that allows you to put it on this receptacle there, and then you just sort of bolt it down with this. So what I want to do is I want to make use of this frame. I'll take this metal frame out and pull all of this. I'll do it right now actually. So this is going to be the base. So this is what I pulled off of the shade here, and it's going to sit on like that, and then I want to have that sort of empire shade sitting on it like this, going up like that. All right, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just printing just a small piece of the lamp. I just want to see how this is going to connect to this over here. So instead of printing like a large piece, I just want to see if it's going to connect, make sure that the fittings work. So yeah, small steps, I guess. Okay, so this is what I was doing here. I was trying to do some modifications. Now this is just the base. This would actually have like the rest of the lampshade on it, but I wanted to ensure that this would actually fit and the measurements were right, because I had to try to figure a way of having it come onto this and then secure itself onto this wire frame. And I'm not going to click it into place because it was a little bit tight. These little sort of locks here, what do you call it, teeth, were just a little too aggressive. They're sticking out a little too much, so you really have to put some force on there to make it stick. So I've modified it and just sort of pulled those back a little bit, like that, like that. And when the rest of it's on there, it's just gonna slide onto here, click into place, and yeah, I think that's going to work. So here's the other thing. This shade itself is about, I think it's just about 25 centimeters, over 25 centimeters tall. So that's not gonna fit on this print bed of the Ender. So I had to break it up into two pieces. And I also, in trying to make these pieces fit, and with the base like this, and then with the top as well, I didn't want to have to waste a lot of filament with supports. So this is what I was thinking of doing. So here it is. This is that model from Thingiverse. I've just imported it into Tinkercad. Yes, Tinkercad. I know that there are, other software, free 3D software editing, creation type tools like Fusion. We use Tinkercad all the time at school, so it's the one platform that I've gotten really used to. I'm comfortable with it. I don't have to think too hard about trying to do certain things in here. It's quite possible as the projects that I try to do get more complex, it's going to make more sense for me to move on. But right now, I seem to be getting along with Tinkercad, so I'm just gonna stick with it, but I know there's others out there. All right, so this is the first thing. Now, I can't print this up as one piece because you can see here, this thing is, yeah, it's over 30 centimeters tall. That's beyond the print volume of my printer, so I'm gonna have to print this up in pieces, which is okay because really, the amount of supports needed to create this, especially when I add in that base piece there that allows me to connect it to the wireframe, there'll be so many supports that it just wouldn't work, or just be wasting so much filament. These are sort of like the pieces that I've done here. There you go. You can see that. All right. I was going to start off with two pieces or two halves, but what was really going to be the challenge, again, was around the supports. And it's these little details here. You can see that little channel or ridge there. I really want that, and I really want that to be clean. And I'm worried that if I use supports in there, that it'll just make it sloppy when I try to remove them, if I can remove them. And then I'll scratch it up. I don't know. So what I then did is I'm actually going to print this up as 4 pieces. So this is the first piece here. So this piece down here, let me recenter this. This is going to be my base. And you can see there, that's that piece I showed you earlier that should connect on to the wire frame. And then this piece over here is the second piece. So this one will literally just sort of sit in there, and you can see I've created, yeah, here we go. You can see here I've tried to make a bit of a guiding sort of ridge there. This will actually sit inside of this here, but it should also give me that little bit of a ridge, and this ridge here that I want to keep. So that's piece number 2. That one there. Piece number 3 is basically the same thing. I'm just going to repeat that same print twice. And the fourth and final piece is actually going to be the cap, which is going to be, I haven't created it yet, but it's basically going to be this top piece here, starting with that ridge and the top part there. All right, so I hope that works. Those are the 4 pieces there. I'm printing up this piece right now to see how that's going to go, and then after that I'm going to print up the base and then just see how that fit is. That's the other nice thing about printing up into pieces, is that if something goes wrong, I'm not having to, do another full 24-hour or whatever 36-hour print. Each of these pieces should take 12 hours, 13, 14 hours. It's not the fastest printer, but it's a lot easier to manage and to deal with by printing it up into chunks as well. All right. All right, so I printed up one of the pieces here. Again, I'm printing this up in 4 parts. So this is one of the main body parts there, and it will sit like this. Now there is a base that is being printed that will sit there, that will attach it to the frame there, and then this will sit on top of that. Another piece will sit on top of that, and then the top cap on top of that, so the 4 pieces. How did I print this up? I'm basically just using no fill, so the walls are hollow, but I did increase the wall width to 1.2. What else did I do? And I printed with supports. Oh, also, you can see here, there's that lip that I said I sort of added on in Tinkercad that will then allow the next piece to sort of slide in on top of that. That should give you a nice surface area to glue and to really sort of attach these pieces together. So far, so good. All right, here is the next piece. This is the base. You can kind of see there, this is where the wireframe will sit on this, and I've put little teeth there so I can grab onto it, click in. There you go. And I'm not going to click it in because it is a little difficult to get off, so I'll leave it like that, which is good because I want this thing to be, in there securely. So, but once it's in there and snapped into place, then this next piece would just go on top like that. Wait for it. And then that's the start of it. And that's just going to work its way up like that. Just to show you, again, having that little bit of a ridge there that I added allows this piece to to sit in like that, and it just sort of comes together like that. Nice. Pretty happy with it. As I said before, I printed this up with 0 infill, and it works great for the walls. The walls, the thickness I put to 1.2 millimeters. The problem though with 0 infill was for this piece here, because I've got these pieces that jut out laterally, and I noticed that I totally forgot that with 0 infill, it makes it kind of hard for it to try to string across there. Those distances were far too large, and yeah, I ended up getting this really awful looking surface there. However, this is the inside of the lamp. No one's really gonna see this, and the actual pieces that are jutting out that will rest on this frame, they're still strong. So I don't think I'm gonna need to reprint this, but if that's the case, I dodged the bullet. All right, I am printing up the final top cap, and this is what I've got so far. So the base piece, that piece there, that piece there, and then the top cap. So yeah. So when this is all assembled, this is going to top out at around over 35 centimeters, around there. I think it's 33 centimeters or something like that. So obviously way beyond the print volume of my Ender 3. And that's okay, because it was actually made a lot easier to assemble this, because I need to still put inside of here, I think I'm just gonna go with regular paper to sort of fill in those gaps there and still have the ability to have light when it's in here, illuminate these spaces here. So I think I'm just gonna put paper, but it makes it a lot easier to put the paper on the inside when I'm dealing with pieces that are like this and like this. But this looks great. Love this. Print time wise, with the Ender 3 V3 SE, this took about 14 hours. Same obviously with this, they're identical pieces. This came in, I think, I wish I'd actually made a note of this. I think this is more or less kind of like 6 hours or so, I think. Yeah, took a while, but so worth it. All right, here it is, the final piece printed. This is the top, like that. Looks amazing. I still got to remove the brim and the supports, but I thought I'd leave them in there just to let you see what it looks like with the supports in place. Again, I don't know enough, and I wasn't about to try whether or not I could print this without the supports. I think I do need to have the supports in there, but whatever. I wasn't going to chance it. Now, I'm not going to glue this onto the top here, because I want to be able to, you know, if I ever need to change the bulb, I can just reach in. If I ever need to, I don't know, heaven forbid, replace the paper that I'm going to line these sides with, it's easy. If I ever want to remove the shade, it's easy if I can just have this not glued down, or at least it's easily to remove. All right. I just removed all the supports and the brim from the top. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's amazing. And then just so you can see here how much filament I used, I started off with a completely full 1 kilogram spool, and this is all that's left. So it uses pretty much an entire spool, just so you know. For this project, I used the Elegoo PLA Plus black filament. Yeah, I just use it, it's good. All right, so this is what's happening next. I am putting in the paper here. So I'm going to put something like this. So then you get this nice sort of solid backing there, and then the light behind it will just illuminate the page there. Now, and the paper I'm using is basically just photocopy paper. That's it. That's all I had around. And I am going to attach it using some double-sided tape. Just strip there, and then put it right on top. So you can kind of see what I'm doing there with the double-sided tape. Then the page just goes in like this. So then there it is. The page is stuck to the inside. Looks good. And the other nice thing about putting this little bit of a ridge right there is that when it goes into the next piece, is that it creates basically a nice light seal so that you're not going to get any light sort of peeking through this crease here, because you've got that extra backing there with that little bit of a ledge there behind. And so yeah, it's perfect. Love it. All right, so here's the final piece. The top part, you can see I've added, again, just the inside paper parts there. But I've kept the top part completely clear because I want some light coming out, a lot of light coming out from the top, as well as hopefully from the bottom of the lamp as well. So here it is, the original lamp from IKEA, and then now with the new shade on there. So it's definitely a lot taller, but I like it. Yeah. Other than that, the only other thing I had to figure out was what kind of bulb I was going to put into this. This is going to be an LED, but I wanted this to illuminate the entire face of this thing. So I went with these bulbs, which provides a more sort of even light and also provides a lot of light coming down from the bottom, which I wanted to. So very happy with the look. Nice. So yeah, there it is. The Star Wars Empire styled lampshade. Look at that, works like a charm. Amazing. All right, that's it from me. Love this lamp. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.